started for our 45-minute restore class. Like I said, grab your 2 tennis balls or balls, a strap or a belt, and a couple blocks. And we will get started. We're going to get started on our belly this evening in a crocodile pose. So go ahead and get down on that belly. Bring your elbows out wide, stack your hands, rest your forehead there, wiggle your hips side to side. Just soften any place that you're holding tension. Make all the parts of your body that are touching the mat nice and heavy. And as you arrive here in this pose, just take a moment to notice. Notice how you feel. Notice the breath. Begin to make your inhales and your exhales a little bit longer. And on your next inhale, we're going to inhale to the count of 5. Pausing at the top. And exhale to the count of 5. And do that again. Breathe into the count of 5. Pause at the top. Exhale out. And do that 2 more times. Inhaling to the count of 5, pausing at the top. Exhale, releasing it all out to the count of 5. One more big breath. Let it go. And take the left leg and bring it into a half frog. So our hip is about 90 degrees and our knee is about 90 degrees. And just notice the stretch. Nice and gentle, nice and restorative. We'll be here for a few breaths. You can always place it underneath a towel or a blanket. We'll take 5 more breaths here. Take a huge breath in, fill up. Exhale it out. Very gently bring that leg back to neutral. Wiggle your hips side to side. And when you're ready, do that on the opposite side. So hip is at 90 degrees, knees at 90 degrees. And just enjoy this, nice and gentle. You may feel something, you may not. Take 5 more breaths here. Take a breath in, exhale it out. Gently bring that leg back to center, wiggle your hips side to side. Grab your 2 balls and come into Sphinx pose. So we're going to take those balls right to our hip flexors. So you're going to find that hip bone and you're going to go just inside. And you're going to go, we're going to do both sides today at the same time. So once you've put those balls right on those hip flexors, we're going to come back to that crocodile pose. You could feel quite a bit of tenderness there. You might notice that you're having a hard time releasing the tissue around there. And if you are, find the breath and soften in that space. We'll take another couple breaths here in this crocodile pose with the balls. Huge breath in. Exhale it out. And if it feels okay, we're going to come into a Sphinx pose. So you might feel it a little bit more in that area where we're doing our myofascial release. If it's too much, come back down to that crocodile. We've been here a while, and if that feels good to you and you want to try a little bit of something else, curl those toes under, and you can just move just a little bit up and down on those balls, maybe an inch or 2 either way. If you don't like it, don't do it. We prefer just that stillness. It's just a variation, it's just an option. Once you've done that a few times, if you are moving, come back to that Sphinx pose. Take a huge breath in. Exhale it out. And we're lower ourselves all the way down, remove the balls. And wiggle those hips side to side. Come back to crocodile pose and notice. From here, we're going to do a little bit of a stretch. So bend that right knee. Take the right hand behind you. Grab the top of the right foot. And if you can't reach the spine, use your belt or your strap. And so right now, you're going to feel a lot in the quad. And to get a little bit higher into those hip flexors, you're going to push your hip bones into the mat. So do a pelvic tilt. And you'll notice that changing the angle and where you feel the stretch. You can just rest that head down on one cheek or the other. Soften your glutes, soften your hamstrings. Keep that pelvic tilt. Take 3 more breaths. Breathe in, exhale out. Gently remove the bind or the strap, whatever you have. Keep that knee bent and windshield wiper it all the way down to the mat. And wiggle those hips side to side. And we will switch sides. So bend the opposite knee. Take that same side hand behind you. Bind where you can, whether that's your pants or the top of your foot, or you need the strap. We'll just start with the quad stretch. We'll start there for a few breaths, and then we'll add the pelvic tilt. And if you're ready, push your hip bones into the mat. And take 3 more breaths here. Breathe in. Exhale out. Gently release the bind. Swish that leg back and forth until it makes it all the way to the mat. And you'll wiggle your hips. Take a breath in. Exhale it out. Inhale, make your way to tabletop. You can move around however you like to in your tabletop. You can do your cat-cows or any other movement that feels good. Just take a few breaths to move however it feels good to you. And if your blocks aren't handy, bring them to the top of your mat. We're going to come into a low runner's lunge. And blocks are always great to use on our low runner's lunge. So we will start with whichever leg you want to. I'll start with my right foot. We're going to bring that right foot to the top of the mat, getting into our left hip flexors. Nice tall spine. That's what the blocks are there for. Notice how that hip flexor feels. And we will take 5 more deep breaths here. Breathe in. Exhale out. Nice counter stretch. Straighten through that front leg. Coming in to your half monkey. And if your bottom makes it to your heel, great. If not, you can stay up tall. Pull those toes towards your shin. Flat back. Huge breath in. Exhale it out. Bend through that front knee. Take the blocks to the top of the mat, hands down. And bring that right leg back. Tabletop. Some cat-cows here. And when you are ready, switch sides for your hip flexor stretch. That right hip forward, left hip back. 3 more breaths here. Huge breath in. Exhale it out. Inhale, straighten through that front leg for your half monkey on this side. You've got that option of staying up tall, or if you want to lower all the way down onto that heel, whichever one you like best. Nice flat back. Softness in your knee. Big breath in. Sigh it out. Bend through the front knee, blocks to the top of the mat, hands down, left foot back. Take 1 or 2 cat-cows. We're going to make our way back to our bellies. And we're going to get into our adductors, those inner thigh muscles. So we're going to use our block and a ball. So we're going to take the block and make it cross with the mat. So it's like a little bit longer. And then we're going to take another half ball here. So scooching a little bit closer. And that ball is going to go on that adductor, or those adductors, inner thigh. And so we've got the block the long way so we can roll side to side on it. And if you find a spot you want to pause there, just let it pin on there. Or like I said, you can roll back and forth. You can make some adjustments. You can get up high into that area. Whatever feels good. So those adductors start all the way in the groin and then insert down into the knee, even below the knee and some. So just kind of play around and see what feels right. So you can move, you can come to stillness. You can even just straighten and bend that knee, and you'll notice that as well. Maybe you want to stay on one area for a few breaths and then move to another area. We'll take a few more breaths on this side. One more huge breath in, fill up. Exhale it out. And grab a hold of your ball. Take the block. Come back to your belly for constructive or crocodile pose. Just notice that side that you did. And then we will switch sides. So just take your time getting set up on this side and what you need here. And you can come to stillness. Go lengthwise along the block. Or you can straighten and bend your knee. We'll take 5 more breaths, whatever you're doing on this side. Breathe in, exhale out. Gently remove your props. Come back to that crocodile pose just for a breath. Notice. Bring your hands to your shoulders. Push yourself back to a child's pose. Toes together, knees apart. And settle into this child's pose. Inhale, lift yourself up. So what we're going to do is do a half child's pose. So take that left leg out. Try and keep the bottom of the foot down, all 4 corners. And then you're going to sink back down into a child's pose here. So we're stretching the adductor on the side of the leg that is out. And always notice how you feel. If your hips need to be up a lot higher, that is perfectly fine. You do not need to sink all the way down. Take 3 more breaths here. Breathe in, side out. Inhale yourself back to a tabletop and switch sides. So whatever side you didn't do, bring that side out and sink back to your half child pose here. Take 5 more breaths. And breathe in, exhale out. Inhale yourself back to a tabletop and just move around, cat-cows or any way you want to do that. And we're gonna make our way to our outer hips now. So we're gonna use 2 balls this time. So we're gonna side lie, it doesn't matter which side. And we're going to get into our glute medius. Smaller glute muscle that adducts your leg. And you're gonna take both balls, right, find that big greater trochanter, and you're gonna come just above that. And you're gonna come onto your side, right on those 2 balls. So you are gonna prop yourself up on your forearm. That top leg is gonna bend up so you can use it for some support and some help and some guidance. And you're gonna roll right on over onto those 2 balls. So we're just gonna pause here in some stillness. Just notice how it feels, any tenderness you may have. And always remember, you don't want any pain that's traveling down, anything that means you're on a nerve of some kind. And from here, we're gonna do some contract, relax. So you're gonna push the top or the bottom of the pinky side of that foot leg that's down, push it into the mat, notice that, and then release a little bit deeper onto the balls. Contract, push that pinky toe in, relax. Inhale, contract. Exhale, relax. And we'll do that one more time. Inhale, contract. Exhale, relax. And just completely relax. And then we will point our foot and flex our foot. Point, flex, and we'll do that 3 more times. And back to neutral. Notice how it feels. You might notice that you're not feeling much anymore like you were. That means that tissue is releasing any trigger points that were there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to lift that bottom leg up and then back down. So inhale, lift it up and back down. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, back down. Do that 3 more times. One more. Awesome. Take one more big breath in. Exhale it out. And go ahead and remove the balls. Just place them to the side. And we're going to come onto our backs. So that same side that you just did your myofascial release, bring that right knee into chest. Give it a hug. You can roll through your ankle. Take a big breath in. Exhale it out. Now take that right knee towards the left shoulder for a gentle stretch here. Big breath in. Exhale it out. And coming back to neutral, bend that bottom foot up. Left knee comes up, right leg comes up and over. Left knee for our pigeon on our back. So if you feel the stretch here in this position, you stay. If you need a little bit more, interlace your fingers behind your left hamstring and pull that knee into your chest. We're going to be here for 10 breaths. Take 3 more. Breathe in. Exhale out. Gently release the bind that you have, keeping your legs where they are. Coming into sleepy pigeon. So we'll drop our left knee towards the floor. Right foot makes contact. Right arm comes out to a T. And that knee straight up towards the ceiling. Really getting into that glute med. Tensor fascia, lata muscle. Find as much softness here in this pose as you can. And take 5 more breaths. Huge breath in. Huge breath out. Before coming back to center, navel to spine, back to center. Take that top leg off. And windshield wiper those legs back and forth. You can pause in a constructive rest pose, knees together, feet apart. Take a moment to notice. And when you are ready, we will switch sides. So grab your 2 balls. Find around for that greater trochanter, your hip bone here. And those balls are going to come just up and inside of that. You're going to use, that side's really sore for me today. Use that back leg for some support. You're on your forearm. Just pausing here in stillness to begin with. Noticing, using the breath to try and relax around the 2 balls. And then we will take and do that contract and relax. So taking the pinky side toe of that same side foot, pushing it into the mat, and relax, release into the balls. Inhale, contract, push in. Exhale, relax. Inhale, contract. Exhale, relax. 2 more times. Inhale, contract. Exhale, relax. 1 more time. And relax. Just notice. And then we'll do that foot movement. So pointing our foot, flexing, point, flex. 3 more times your breath. And after that last one, we'll pause for a breath. And then lifting that bottom leg up. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, let it go. 4 more times your breath. One more time. Coming back down, pausing. Huge breath in. Huge breath out. And gently roll off. Move those to the side. Lie down on our backs if we're not. Bring that left knee into chest, or whatever side you just released. You can roll through your ankle, clockwise and counterclockwise. And a gentle stretch. Bring your knee to the opposite shoulder. Inhale back to center. Bend that bottom leg up. Figure 4. Coming into our piriformis stretch on this side. We'll take our 10 breaths, nice and slow. Three more breaths. Inhale. Exhale it out. Release the bind and drop your leg down, staying in your figure four, letting the knee fall to the floor for our sleepy pigeon. Left arm comes out. Knee straight up towards the ceiling. You can bind with your hand to your ankle. Notice where you can soften. Let go of some tension. Let it go. Take 3 more big breaths. Huge breath in. Huge breath out. Navel to spine. Back to center. Unwind. And this time we will come to Supta Baddha Konasana. Soles of the feet together, knees apart. Notice your hips. Take your hands to the outer thighs and bring those legs up. And you're going to grab your strap or your belt, whatever you have. We're going to come into our 3-way stretch. It does not matter which leg you start with. We are going to start with our hamstring. So placing the strap around the ball of the foot. Each hand has a hold of the strap. And I like to give options for this leg that is uninvolved. It can stay bent up. You can half butterfly it. Or you can bring it out straight, depending on what you need. So let the strap do all the work. Your hands will have a little bit of effort holding the strap. No involvement of your jaw, your shoulders, your chest. Two more big breaths here. Breathe in. Exhale out. Place both ends of the strap in the same side hand as your leg. Keeping the opposite hip down. You're going to let that leg fall all the way over to wherever it goes. So it might be up here. It might be all the way down here. You can take a block and place it underneath any part of your leg for a little extra support. But you want to keep that opposite hip down. Try not to let it ride up. Take one more huge breath here. Sigh it out. Navel to spine. Bring that leg back to center. Switch hands with the strap and let it go all the way to the other side. Take 2 more breaths. Breathe in. Exhale out. Navel to spine, back to center. Bend your knees, remove the strap. Both legs are bent up into a bridge prep pose and just pause for a moment. Notice. And when you're ready, switch sides, whatever side you didn't do, starting with your hamstring stretch. Strap around the ball of the foot. You have those 3 options with that uninvolved leg, bent up, half butterfly, or out straight. Take 3 more breaths here. Breathe in. Exhale out. Place both ends of the strap into the same side hand to opposite hip. And let that leg fall all the way out to the side for our adductors. Two more breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Navel to spine. Protect our back. Coming back to center. Switch hands with the straps. And let that leg come all the way over for a V-ductor, abductor stretch on this side. Take 3 more breaths here. Breathe in. Exhale out. Navel to spine, back to center. Bend the knee, ditch the strap. Then both knees up. I'm just going to grab my block for a second. So if you have your block, go ahead and grab it. Please sit underneath your sacrum, your tailbone, for restorative bridge here. Bring one foot off the mat, bring the other foot off the mat, straight through those legs for your Viparita Karani legs up the wall. If you want to actually put them up the wall, that's a great option. One more big, huge breath here in this pose. One more big breath out here. Bend your knees to tabletop. Drop one foot, then the other. Lift your hips up, remove the block. Lower them down. And decide how you want to end your practice with your knees together, feet apart, constructive rest. Soles together, knees apart for Supta Baddha Konasana. Or just go ahead and bring those legs straight out in front for your final Shavasana. Wherever you go, find some stillness. Get rid of any effort you're holding. And just be here. And start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Make some larger movements, rolling through your wrists, your ankles, and wiggling your hips side to side. When you're ready on an inhale, bring your knees into your chest and give yourself one last final hug of your practice this evening. Take a big, huge breath in. Exhale it out. And roll to the left side and pause there. Take a big breath in here. Let it all go. And with as little effort as possible, make your way to a nice, easy seat at your mat. Hands on your knees, palms up. Moment to notice how your hips feel now. How you feel now. What you've created. The space you've opened up. Take a big breath in. Exhale it out. Hands by your sides. Inhale, arms up, palms come to touch. Exhale them to your heart. Breathe in. Breathe out. Thumbs to third eye. Thank you so much for joining me this evening to work your hips, to move, to breathe, to rest, to restore. Your presence is always a gift. Namaste. Thank you so much for showing up, guys. Take care. If you have any questions, just let us know.